Okay, folks, here we are at the kickoff of week 2 of the Red Zone League that I am doing with Breakaway Football. All 36 teams, I don't include the Fire and Lightning in that, the 36 other teams that actually represent specific football teams will play each other one time, 18 games a week for 35 weeks. The first week's games are in the bag, and we're going to kick off this week with a great matchup. Orca at Minutemen. This is the 72 Dolphins against the 2007 Patriots, I think. The Dolphins, the only team to ever completely run the table, and the Patriots one ridiculous play away from repeating that feat and actually doing them one better by going 18 games in a row. So this is for a lot of bragging rights here. And so let's kick it off. Let's flip this coin. Heads is always going to be the home team's call in this. I don't think that was an actual flip. Let's see. Yeah, right. Flip in this game, I need to do roll. And so that comes out tails. So that means that the Orca will receive the kick first as I fiddle around with the board. I'm very fiddly. And so the kickoff, we draw a card. One of the things that I have a problem with on Tabletop Simulator is, so that's a 0 kickoff value. That means the Orca have a touchback. One of the things I often do is I will accidentally drag the entire deck over into this pile. If I do that, my protocol is to just click the back button and redraw the card. So, so the Orca are going to draw their first play card. Now, the creator of the game tells me that the cards are not well randomized in terms of orientation, so that I should always spin them some before I select a play type. So, oh, I forgot to say, so let's look at these matchups here before we kick this off. The Orca, super powerful team. They've got a powerhouse backfield, great running game. You'll see that their run offense is 4. And so whenever they call a running play, one of these orange tokens goes on the opponent's next drive, and that's called the no-name defense. And when the no-name defense is active, the Orca get to either draw a second game day card and pick the event that they want to use, or if the offense has rolled an offense breakaway, they can re-roll that, which is a huge advantage. Both of those things are huge advantages. The 4-run offense, 1-pass offense for the Orca, we'll see more about that in a minute, matches up against the Minutemen's 2-run defense, 4-pass defense. So the Orca get a +2 bonus, drive bonus on every running play. And the Minutemen have a very strong passing game, but the Orca's defense is super strong. So no drive bonus for the Minutemen. Their advantage, their special ability is game day adjustments. Anytime the Minutemen score a touchdown, they pull a card and they keep it in their hand, and they get to play it on the next available drive. I don't know if this is intended to mean it's immediately played. I interpret this to be they play it the next time. It helps them. So theoretically, they could have this perfect route in their hand, and then the call is a pass play. They don't want to play that card, right? So okay, so the 1-pass offense is represented here by, I think all of the Orca's pass plays are low accuracy. So this is an 8. The Minutemen are going to roll. It's a pro set, so they're going to roll their 2 dice. I got to figure that if you are watching this video, you understand how this game works. So that's a roll of 8. So we look at their defense table, 2-man under, 1-3. So that is good for the Minutemen. That 2-man under matches up against a long pass as an offense breakaway. I don't see that chart anywhere in the objects on Tabletop Simulator, so I'm just going to have you trust me. So that's a defense breakaway for the Minutemen to start the game. That's a good thing for them. Let's see what they get. They get to either use the game day event or the corner value, both of which result in an incomplete pass, and then a punt. Punts in red zone are 3 yards unless wind is blowing. That can change that. So we go up here and we find a punt icon or drive summary token, and we place it there, and that indicates that the first possession of the quarter was a punt for the Orca. Now the Minutemen are going to call their play. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to spin it around just however many times, and then flip it, and they're also calling a pass. This is a play action pass. And so this is from the slot formation. They're rolling 2 dice. This green die is the Orca's die, the blue die is the Minutemen's die, and the black die is the if you need another die. So let's see what the Orca dial up here. They're going to get an 8 against this play action pass, and that is tight run, which is going to actually lose to the play action pass. That's a defense breakaway, or it's an offense breakaway, and that is an automatic touchdown for the Minutemen. So they come out firing. Let's get that touchdown drive summary token out here. Just to be clear, I'm very strongly rooting for the Minutemen in this game. And so now they got to kick the extra point. And all right, I did that thing. Tabletop Simulator is so fiddly. All right, so really the only way... I'm going to pause the video for a minute. Okay, so we're back to the Orca's play call, and that was a defense breakaway. And so same result, a 0, and so the punt goes there, and we're back now to the Minutemen. They have an offense breakaway. Tabletop Simulator is so fiddly. I wish all these games would be on Vassal. Yeah, we got to get the touchdown token out here, and the Minutemen score a touchdown, and now they have to kick the extra point. 7 is good for the extra point, and so the Minutemen take a 7-0 lead. Now they kick off, trying to draw just a single card at a time. 1 yard line, so the return comes out to the 15. It's the equivalent of a touchback. And the Orca will call a play. Wheels rotating it around to try to get a good balance of up and down. So this is a run play. That is what the Orca want to be calling. So we're going to take this no-name defense token and put it on the next Minutemen drive. And then we're going to look down here, finesse run from the pro set. The Minutemen will roll 2 dice, and they've got a 5, and that is tight run against finesse run, which I think is a defense breakaway. So the Minutemen are really fired up here early on, trying to get their vengeance. So defense breakaway once again. Here we go. Did I get that right? Yep. All right, and the defense breakaway gives the option of just a non-event or a -2, so that backs the Orca up to the -1, -2. That is the equivalent of being on the 15-yard line, but it does allow for a potential safety, although in this case that's irrelevant because they're punting. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We're going to go ahead and clone this punt token and put it right here. And now the Minutemen are going to call their next play. They're again in pretty good field position, but remember, the no-name defense is getting fired up here now. And so they stacked incorrectly. I don't know why that's happening. Oh, no, that's right. That is correct. Okay, so the Minutemen are dialing up a long pass. This is from their shotgun, so it's 3 dice. For the Orca, let's see what defense they come out with. That's a 7. They come out with a zone, 2-4 zone. Zone has no impact one way or another on a long pass. So remember, this is the no-name defense, and a game day passing completion needs to happen for this pass to be completed. Oh, the Minutemen were supposed to draw a card for their their special ability. They scored a touchdown, so that's their card for later. They're not going to use that now. So the Orca intentional grounding, almost certainly they're going to take that event, but they get another pull. It could be an interception. It's play under review, so they're not going to bother with the review. They're going to just take the intentional grounding. It's a loss of 2 lines, which is the The only way you can get a safety is if you start the play here in this -1, -2 zone. So that causes a punt, and so the no-name defense has stood tall. And at the end of the first quarter, it is 7-0. Minutemen, let's see how the Orca want to come out in the second quarter. And I guess that they come out in a play-action curl. So another pass. Again, not the best thing for them. So the Minutemen could use this event right now to guarantee an incompletion, but I think that they're better off. Well, they're going to roll their defense. So this is an I formation. So let's see. The 6 is wide run against play action pass. I think that has nothing to do with nothing. So I think that the Minutemen are going to go ahead and take a chance here and hold that to try to score a touchdown themselves. And it's a offsides penalty against the run, which is a non-event against the pass. So that is an incomplete pass and a punt. Now, this 12 here is a potential coffin corner punt. So if that number had been a 12, the punt would have pinned the Minutemen there, but instead it leaves them there. So the Minutemen are now going to call a special pass, a wide receiver screen, again out of the shotgun. So the Orca get 3 dice, and that's 10, and that's a wide run against a special pass. Again, that has no impact on anything. And so it is a 6, and let's see what the game day event is. False start on offense. You are not allowed to decline that, so they move back. So now there is a potential for a safety here. The Minutemen run another play, and this is oh, you know what? That's kind of weird, right? The play that first came up, well, so we'll go with it. No, you know what? I think that what the designer told me was that Tabletop Simulator kind of keeps the cards in the same orientation. So that was the play that first came up. We're just going to do it like that, I think. So it was a run play. So this is an outside run from their ace-2 tight end, strong running formation, and a 5 is man-to-man defense against an outside run. That's going to have nothing to do with anything. And so, the Minutemen now get to use their game day card to run to daylight and score a super long running touchdown. And let's clone the touchdown drive summary. Put it there. Let's have them draw a game day card, which we should have done immediately the last time. And now let's kick the extra point, and the extra point is good. And so the Minutemen storm out to a 14-0 lead, and the kickoff gives the Orca a touchback. And so here's what I'm going to do with the play cards. We're going to spin it around like that, and we're going to do that. And then we're going to get this. So this is a running play. I don't understand what's going on there, but so that's what we'll just have to do from now on. We'll have to orient it as we need it. So that is an inside run from the I formation. So a single die is rolled, and that's a 2, which is goal line against inside run. That is another defense breakaway. Man, so that negates the drive bonus, and they probably don't need to use that card. They'll hold on to that. And so it's a -1, and so it puts the Orca back to the -1, -2, but what that really does is just make them punt. And the punts are 3 lines, and that will get us to clone the So the Minutemen continue to kind of take their revenge. So let's see what comes up here. So this is the halfback draw. Let's remember that it's the halfback draw. That worked right. So this is from the slot formation. So the Orca roll 2 dice against a special run. They get a 4, which is wide run, and that has no impact on it. So the wide runs, the first time we've had to do this, is 3-2. So the 3 is the defense value. So this is actually a -1 to start with for the run play, and then they have to draw the game day event. And it's a shoestring tackle, so bang bang. So that helps make up for the, oh, and the, you know what? So the Orca had called a run play, right? So no name defense, so they get another shot at it. Could be a fumble, right? So they'll use the first event and force a punt, which 1, 2, 3 lines. The Orca now take possession again. And spinny, 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 spinny. So this is the halfback sweep. Let's remember halfback sweep. Yeah, it did that thing again, so we'll spin it back around. We'll zoom in on halfback sweep, outside run. So this is pretty good for the Minutemen. They're going to get to negate a lot of the big drive bonus with their game day adjustment card, but there is another no-name defense coming on. So the Minutemen call 2-man under, which is a 1. So this is a 3 plus 2 makes 5 against the 1, makes a gain of 4. And to avoid the potential for a touchdown, the Minutemen will play the big hit event, which is -1. So that would make it 3, 1, 2, 3. So that turns a very possible touchdown into a field goal attempt, and the no-name defense is off the board. And so we're rolling a field goal. They only need a 3. And the Orca are on the board. And we need a field goal drive summary icon. And there it is. And so I need to pause the video a little bit to do some record keeping. Back at it, the Minutemen have one more drive to try to extend their lead, but the no-name defense is active. So let's see what they dial up. All right, halfback clear flat. Let's remember that. There we go. That's working fine. So this is a short pass from the shotgun formation. So let's see what the Orca are going to come out with. 12. So they are playing 2-man under, which loses to nothing and has the 3 pass value. So, oh, I forgot to do the kickoff. Here we go, kickoff. That was a good return for the Minutemen. So they've got the, here we go, and we have the no-name defense, so they get 2 tries at it. So that's an incomplete pass. It's a broken tackle, and so they'll just take the incomplete pass, and that goes down as a punt, even though there are no further possessions. And so the half ends, and tell me if I'm wrong about this if you're watching this. I think that we're supposed to reshuffle the game day deck at the half. I think I always forget that when I play on the tabletop, but I'm pretty sure that's the way the game is supposed to be played. And so the Orca took the opening kickoff, and so the Minutemen take the second half kickoff, and they will start at their own 15. Let's see what they're going to dial up here from their big run formation. It's a run play, counter weak. And so from the ace-2 tight ends, it's a single die roll against a, what is this, a finesse run? A finesse run, a 6. The Orca are playing press 1-4, which I think has no impact on this at all. So the run value for the Orca's defense is a 1, and the play value is a 2. So that's a +1 gain to start, and then we'll see what this event is. And oh, they would have loved to have had it be a pass. So they get the 1 gain, and so they're punting, and they're going to pull. Wait a minute, I did that thing again. There we go. So it is. Ooh, now they're glad it wasn't a pass. And so they get the 1 gain. The defense pass has no impact on it. That's a 1-yard gain. And now they're going to punt and try for a coffin corner punt, which they do not get. And so the Orca start the ball, or start the half, at their own 15. And they are going to call. So this is the fullback sweep right. Let's remember that. Well, I guess both of these are, no, not quite the same. So we got to bring this no-name defense back out here. Now this is a good play. The Minutemen really are going to hope for a defense breakaway here. It's an outside run. They rolled a single die. What they're hoping for is a 6, and that's what they get. Amazing luck. Wide run is a defense breakaway against an outside run. So stunning. And so the Minutemen will take the 0 value and force a punt. Now, one thing that I didn't mention is in the second half, let me clone this. In the second half, the losing team, when it draws a card, is able to pick the play that it thinks is best. So in this case, I would have picked that play anyway. But I got to remember that now for the Orca. So the Orca punt and the Minutemen take the field, and they are staring down the barrel once again of the famed no-name defense. And they're going to dial up a long pass against that. And they're going to have to get it like this. So long pass, let's see. 2 dice for the defense for the Orca. Ooh, that's probably a run. That's wide run against long pass. That's going to have nothing to do with nothing. And so the no-name defense gets a second pull here. And ooh, look at that. That totally saved a touchdown, right? That would have been a touchdown, and instead it's an incomplete pass. Well done, no-name defense. And so another punt for the Minutemen, and they do not get the coffin corner punt. So the no-name defense has lived up to its hype so far. Pausing just a second to do some back to the game. I keep written game sheet records of this, and then I post them online for people to see if they're interested. So the Orca have the ball, final drive of the third quarter, losing 14-3, and they are going to pick whichever one of these plays looks best. So I take the minimum gain play here because, whatever, breakaways are sort of random here. From the I formation, a single die, power run or finesse run could both be hit man-to-man against power run. Loses. So there you go. The Orca chose right. So that's it. So that's a touchdown for the Orca. Long running touchdown. It also brings the no-name defense back out onto the field, and they now have to kick the extra point, which they make, and so they pull within 4. It's a 1 touchdown game entering the fourth quarter. And a little more record keep. I should probably say, for clarity's sake, I said long touchdown run. I talk about it like that. The red zone is representing the entire drive with a single play. So this is like the most important play of the drive, right? It's not really that was a 75-yard touchdown run. It's that the drive went 75 yards and the final play was the power run, the fullback power run, Zonka. Got it in the end zone. All right, and so the kickoff. Here we go. So the Minutemen start at their 15, and they are going to spin it, spin it, spin it, and they're going to once again go with a long pass. So, and the no-name defense is back on station. So unless this ends up being a breakaway, which it is. Oh no, okay, so this is the no-name defense, right? That was a breakaway. That would have been a touchdown, but the no-name defense is allowed to roll this again. I did this the first time the Orca played, and they rolled right back into the same defense breakaway. But in this case, it's tight run, and that has no impact on a long pass. So now the Orca don't get to draw a second event. They've used their no-name defense effect. So if this is a complete pass, it's a touchdown, and it's not. It's an incomplete pass. And so there goes that no-name defense. The Orca are just a tough, tough team to beat. And what happens here, especially now that they're losing, right, is they get to choose their play, and so they'll in most cases get to pick a running play, which is their strength. They get this big drive bonus, so the other team's defense has to really be stout. So they are, oh, wait a second. There's a punt here. 1, 2, 3. They're starting at the 35. So the Minutemen are going to roll 2 dice and hope for a defense breakaway. And they are not going to get that. Yes, they are. Amazing. Amazing the luck of the Minutemen in this game. So a man-to-man defense wins against a special run. And so the Minutemen will get to take the game day event, which they will not take, or the corner value, which they will take. And so that is another punt for the Orca, who will have only one more chance to take this, to win this game. And the Minutemen will take over at their 35. And they're going to call a nice safe inside run. So this is from ace tight end. So oh, and I've got to go take my kid to the chiropractor. So the 3 against the inside run is tight run, which has no impact on it. So that's a minimum gain of 1. So it's going to be 1 plus whatever this comes out to be, which is nothing. And there we go. And I have to run. I cannot finish right now. Pausing. So it's make or break for the Orca. The Minutemen are going to punt from the 50, hoping to pull a 9 punt value to get a coffin corner punt, and they do. So a potential safety going on here. Let's see what the Orca do. They've got a choice of an outside run or a finesse run. The outside run gives the minimum gain of 1, so that seems to be the way to go. Although that 1 won't matter much. But so we got a 3 plus the 2 drive bonus, and the Minutemen are going to dial up a nickel formation, 2-man under, 1-3. So that's an initial gain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that puts the Orca in line for a field goal, but that's not enough for them. So let's see what they pull. And it is a defense pass, so that means that the Orca advanced 1, 2, 3, 4 yard lines, and now we have what is called go for it. So it's the end of the game. A field goal won't get it done. The Orca have to, they have to get it done. So with their run game, seems pretty likely that they'll get this done unless they get hit with a breakaway. So let's see what the Minutemen can dial up. a 9 against a power run. That is a blitz, which I think is a breakaway. Nope, it's nothing. So here we go. So this is, unless this game day card is a fumble or a penalty, it's going to be a game-winning touchdown for the Orca. And in fact, they put a convoy out there in front of Larry Zonka, as they did so often, and they score the winning touchdown. So the Orca maintain bragging rights, and I maintain my position that the Orca in this game should be toned down. But it is what it is. The Orca win 17-14 with a final heroic drive powered by the strong legs of Larry Zonka. Thanks for tuning in.